Hey everybody, welcome back. This is part 3 of our dive into the TechDraw workbench. Now in the previous 2 videos we used views of the part as the basis for decorations and dimensions like hatches and symbols, but we were always using a single view of the part. Now we may have put more than one of those onto a page, but each one of them functioned as a separate kind of independent thing with no relationship to the other. In this video, we're going to talk about multi-view projections. And this is a technique where we use more than one view linked together to communicate additional information about the part. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the concept of multi-view projections, you can think of this a little bit like the blueprints of a house. In one case, you've got a view from above, which is a plan view or a floor plan, and that communicates information about the size and relative location of the different rooms. On the other hand, an elevation view communicates information about the roof line and the exterior facade, and the elevation may be from any one of a number of different points of view or looking at different sides of the house. Now, even though those different views communicate different information, they have a relationship between each other. Features in one view may need to be aligned with features in another, and they may need to share a common scale. Furthermore, we want these different views to be linked together in such a way that if we make any changes to the base object, all of the different views update together at the same time. In a multi-view projection, the different views are positioned on the page relative to each other according to one of two schemes called first angle projection and third angle projection. Third angle is commonly used in the United States, and first angle projection is used pretty much everywhere else. And the difference between these two schemes is outside the scope of this video. There's numerous videos online and an excellent Wikipedia page that describes the difference between them. In my case, I'm in the United States, and so I've configured TechDraw to use the third angle as my default projection. So the way you create a multi-view projection in TechDraw is by selecting your part in the tree, like with our other projection tools or view tools, and clicking on this tool in the toolbar. And when I do that, it's going to open up a task panel for configuring the projection group, and it's also going to insert an initial view into my drawing. And you'll see that the perspective on this projection matches exactly what was in the 3D window here. Now, there's a set of tick boxes which control the secondary projections, and as I add these, you'll see that they're inserted into the drawing, and they are each a rotation off of the anchor view. This initial one is called the anchor view, and it corresponds to this grayed out tick box in the task panel. Each of the secondaries is a rotation from this, 90 degrees in one axis or another. So that isn't probably what I want. What I want is like an actual plan view or elevation on my part. So I'm going to cancel this, switch back over, and I'm going to use the standard view toolbar and set my view to front. And then I'm going to select the part and do the same thing again, create the projection group, and now you can see that I have a front view, and when I add my secondary views, there are rotations off of that. Now you can see that these secondary views are aligned directly with my anchor view, and that they're correct in the sense that my top view is an actual top view of my part, and the bottom view is a bottom view of my part. And my bottom view appears below my front view and top above it. Now that's because I'm working in third angle projection in the US. If you're using first angle projection, that'll be reversed. I can grab onto this front view and I can drag it around, and the secondary views will move along with it. I can also grab onto one of the secondary views and I can reposition it, just like our other views that we've seen before. But when I recompute the document, it's going to reposition them back the way that they were, and it kind of insists on doing this. And this was initially very confusing to some users when I was running a class, and it was confusing to me the first time that I did it as well. And I think that the reason is that we intuitively look at this, this task panel almost like a wizard for creating multiple views. And it does that, but what it's really doing is it's creating a set of linked views. So if I zoom in on this, you see that, you know, in this case, on my top view, this surface is lower than this surface. There's an edge, and this edge corresponds to this edge here. So these two views, while they're independent views and they represent different perspectives on the part, they have a relationship between each other where these features are lined up. And TechDraw is trying to preserve that relationship. So if I were to move things out of the way, now this edge is no longer lined up with this. I've lost some information. And when I recompute, it tries to fix it. Well, that's fine. That's what I want it to do, but I end up with all of this white space in here, which isn't what I want. I'd like my views a little closer together. So there's two things that you can do. One is you can turn off the Autodistribute functionality, which is controlled off of if you select the project group, there's an Autodistribute tool in here, and if I turn this on or set this to false, now when I move these around and recompute, TechDraw is not going to recalculate those positions. It's going to leave them in place. But honestly, that isn't what I probably want. The better thing to do is to leave this as true, allow it to recompute, but adjust the spacing between. So if I set this to 0, for instance, when I change the 0 on Y, you'll see that it recomputes automatically and it moves them a little closer together. The spacing properties can take negative values as well. So if I set the spacing to, say, -30, when I set the spacing on Y, we should see it automatically recompute. Oh, I'd have to recompute the document. And you see it collapsed in and eliminated some of that white space in there. And so I could fine-tune that to get the spacing exactly the way that I want. To highlight the fact that this projection group is actually kind of a linked thing and it's all operating together, we could take a look at some of the properties on the projection group. And we already talked about the Autodistribute, but there's also a scale property. And if I set the scale property to something like 0.5, and recompute the document, you'll see that the scale was applied to all three of the views exactly the same. Now because I set my spacing to -30, you'll see that my parts are now overlapping. I don't think that this spacing property is very easy to use. My intuitive guess would be that it would correspond to the distance between the bottom of one bounding box and the top of another. Like if I set this to 30, it would keep the distance between these two at an absolute value, but that isn't how it works. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure how it does work. I've ended up just sort of kind of tinkering around with the value until I got the spacing the way that I wanted it. Now on the projection group, you can open it up, and each of the underlying views is still its own thing, and all of the properties that we saw for the other views are still there. So you can control, which internal lines are visible, and you can even attempt to change the scaling on the sub-view. So if I set this one back to 1 and recompute it, you'll see that it recomputed the whole thing, but it didn't change the scaling. So in this case, the projection group scaling is overriding the scaling of the subviews. So that's about all I've got to say on multi-view projections or projection groups in TechDraw. The only thing confusing about them is that auto-distribute behavior until you get used to it, and then after that they're just very useful, handy for keeping your views in sync and your features lined up. In the next video, I'm going to talk about section views and detail views, and hope you tune in for that. As always, if you got any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.